Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, it's a little bit earlier than usual. It is 10:47 p.m. But like usual, it is hot. Hot tamales. A hot tamale train in this car. And I was driving around talking to a friend. Alex and I went to dinner tonight. We went to Puccini's. And I had the Diavolo on linguine. Why does that sound funny now that I'm saying it? And I had a salad with bread. And Alex had cheese pizza. I mean, a nice dinner. It was fun. It was just kind of relaxing. It's kind of our little local spot that we like to go to. Had a good day today. Let's see. I got up, did a bunch of stuff around the house, and then ran out and did some errands. Got my coffee at Starbucks, which is right here, and then came home and filmed a bunch of videos. Put this over here. I have my other battery right here, which is not fully charged, so I don't know how long this vlog is going to be tonight. Did I just put lip balm on? This lip balm is dead. It's at the bottom, so I need to. I have 4 of these at home. I need to get another one, and I got one for Tanya Jean that I'm gonna give her. I almost called her Tanya June. Oh, Tanya Jean's coming home tonight. I can't wait to see her. She should be home by now, actually. I texted her earlier. We were texting back and forth, and she was flying back in, so her plane was about to take off. I missed her. Anyway, let's see. Filmed videos, somebody is texting me. Filmed videos on, well, I had filmed my booktube video last night and forgot to put it up. So I put it up tonight. I put up a Peterisms video, my vlog, drama video, and then Alex came home and we were gonna go and have dinner with Melissa, but we were waiting to hear from them and they couldn't go till later, so we ended up going ourselves. But in between, while we were waiting, I like ran to Starbucks because so many people have been, well, I had actually got on totallythebomb.com earlier and I looked up different things to see if there was anything to review on there. And there was a new Starbucks drink that was a cold brew coffee that was supposed to taste just like mint chocolate chip ice cream, which it did. It tasted exactly like it. It was delicious. The last 2 drinks that I have reviewed over there, the new pink drink that's supposed to taste like pink Starburst, tasted just like a pink Starburst, and it was really, really good. Well, I was drinking it last night when I was vlogging, so you guys know that. And then today, the drink that I did, which was like a cold brew that was supposed to taste just like a mint chocolate chip ice cream, tasted just like mint chocolate. It was so good. So those 2 reviews were fun to do. I'm getting all these text messages all of a sudden. My phone's like lighting up. And then I came back and I threw that video up and was rendering it, and then it like rendered in like 5-10 minutes. So while I was like throwing on my sweatshirt to change and stuff, to go to dinner, when it got done rendering, I started uploading it to YouTube, and then we went to dinner, and then I came home. And then I published that video. That's what it's called when you upload a video. It's called it says, did you already know that? Probably. I published the video, and then like publishing a book. And then I called and talked to my friend for about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. And now I'm vlogging, and that was my day. And I'm trying to vlog a little bit earlier tonight so that I can go home and I can go to bed and get a good night's sleep. Because I want to get up a little bit earlier tomorrow and start my day a little bit earlier. I'm sleeping late, and it's because I go to bed and then I wake up in the middle of the night and vlog, and then I can't go back to sleep, so I listen to some of my book. And I'm listening to the new Maureen Johnson book, Hand on the Wall, I think it's what it's called. It's the 3rd installment to the Truly Devious series. And it's good, but I'm not that far into it yet. it's good, but I feel like it's kind of not the book that I want to be listening to right now. I don't know. So anyway, it's hard to come out of like true crime into like a fictional book. So yeah, and then I can't fall back asleep. Last night I was watching a bunch of these Hey Queen interviews with drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, and they do, I don't really watch the whole interview, or I don't watch any of the interview. I watch the after part, which is called Look at Ha, H-U-H, and it's like they, Johnny McGovern, who's the host, these are all on YouTube. Actually, the first one season is on Netflix, but like these are all on the channels on YouTube, and it's Hey Queen, and it's HEYQWEEN. If you want to watch it, with Johnny McGovern and Miss Lady Red, who's his co-host, and kind of like Ed McMahon to Johnny Carson, and he'll like throw up pictures like on the screen of other drag queens or people that they've worked with, and then they have to like say something nice or throw a little shade, and yeah. So I watched those last night. I watched Mercedes and Monn, and who was the other one that I watched? Somebody else. I just was awake. I could not fall back asleep. So I was like, tonight I'm gonna vlog early, and then I'm going to go to sleep early. Now what'll happen is I'll go to sleep early, and then I'll wake up at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I'll be like wide awake, which you guys are like, yeah, well that's called a normal life, Peter. I know it's called a normal life. I was like, my friend posted this thing on Instagram tonight, and it said that there's a new study that came out that like really intelligent people stay up late, are messy, and they swear a lot. And I was like, well, I'm not super messy though. Like my car is, it's not spotless. Like I don't vacuum it a lot or anything like that, but I don't have just like overwhelming amounts of trash in the car. I don't have any. Like I always have some things on the side like this to throw away, but I usually throw away trash, you know, a couple times. I have a couple things down here that need to be thrown away, but I have also the scarf that I was blowing my nose on, and then I have this fan that Alex's mom gave me. I think it's from Barcelona. Yeah. And I keep it in here just in case I want to make a video. And yeah, but my car's pretty clean. At home, I would say it's kind of organized clutter. Like our house is really pretty organized, but then I have areas where it's like, okay, I have all my books over here, and I have this over here, and there's like a place for things, but it's not all put away, if that makes sense. But I wouldn't consider myself a messy person, per se, perhaps, perchance. So how are you guys doing tonight? I'm gonna pull into the post office here in a second because I want to see who's texting me, and then I will read some comments from the vlog last night. I haven't done that in a while. I posted a long vlog last night, you guys. It was like an hour and a half long. I didn't really realize it was that long. Okay. I need to talk about cheer. I talked about it last night, but I have to tell you, because I did watch another episode of Cheer last night too. I am so into Cheer, the show on Netflix. First of all, can we back up for a second and say that Peter's goals for 2020 was to just enjoy more like cultural, pop culture things, like just random things like reading books, listening to audiobooks more than I usually do, watching more shows on Netflix. Okay, I have this year so far read 12 books. And I'm currently on 13 and 14. I have to finish 4 more books by the end of February to meet my goal of 8 books a month. Because I'm reading The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, I think that's what it's called, and then I'm listening to that, and I'm reading Funland by Richard Lehman, which I don't love. I'm having a hard time getting through that, but it's kind of scary too. I mean, all of his books are scary, but that one's like, it's kind of freaky scary. All of his books are freaky scary, honestly. Like, they're just, well, I know, Endless Night, not everybody's favorite. I loved that book so much when I first read it, and then when we reread it for the book club, I just was so just like, eh. But anyway, I keep on tying a knot with this. Can you see? Hi. But I have watched, let's see, The Pharmacist, I just watched, and then I watched Confession Killer, and I watched, what was the other one that was about? Oh, AJ and the Queen. I'm watching Cheer. There was another show that I watched. I watched A Confession Killer, and then I watched something like right after that. What was it? It was another like serial killer thing. Why can't I remember what it was? Or did I watch A Confession Killer and then AJ and the Queen? Oh, Don't F with Cats. So it's like 5 things I've watched already this year, which for me is a lot. I know for a lot of people that binge watch shows on Netflix, it's not, but like for me, that's a lot, you know? I'm having a good, like, life is good right now. I'm like having a, I don't know, just traveling and having fun, and when I'm at home, hanging out with Alex and the dogs. I feel like just really happy. I'm so excited about going to Arizona. It's like I think about it constantly, to see Mel. I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that if at the last minute I just have to stay in like a hotel like right around the corner from her, I'm totally fine with that. So I'm kind of watching prices on everything and seeing if they go down. And if prices go down like at the last minute, I'm probably gonna get something nice. But if not, then I'm just gonna book like a Holiday Inn or a Hampton Inn or something like that and be completely fine with that. So I'm watching things like go down. Like every day I get on and I like look at everything to see if it's gone down. Most of the time they haven't. But I'm like, okay, if something like has some super sale or something before, I was gonna tell my story about the super salad, but I've told that story on here a million times. You haven't heard it. You haven't heard the story about the super salad? But anyway, if anything goes on sale, then I'm gonna get it. Okay, my friend that I used to work with, she one night, she thought this story was so funny. It kind of was for a long time too, but anyway, I used to like kid her about it. I'd like tease her and joke. But anyway, she and her husband one night, they called to like order carry out. It was like pasta or something like that. And the woman on the phone said to them, do you want super salad with that? Meaning soup or salad. And she thought they were saying super salad, like a supersized salad. And so when the woman said to her, do you want a super salad with that? Do you want super salad with that? She said, sure. Thinking that the woman was like, a super salad. And she goes, which one? And she goes, huh? And she goes, do you want super salad with that? And she said, yeah, sure, we will. And she goes, okay, but which one do you want? And my friend was like, I'm confused, what? And she said, do you want soup or salad with that? And my friend was like, oh, okay, super salad, super salad. I'm gonna actually turn the car around because, oh, somebody's coming up here right now. That's kind of scary, isn't it? I better lock my door because they might be a serial killer. Why is it that when you read true crime, you think that everybody's a serial killer? But it's not a serial killer. This one's like staring me down. I'm not coming to get you, lady. Okay, I'm sitting here vlogging. Because the light in the background was like really intense. It's not any better over here though, honestly. Now she's probably like not wanting to get out of her car because she's like, why did he just like go over there and park? Okay. Okay, what was I gonna look and see? Oh, I was gonna see like who was texting me, but I was gonna read the vlogs too. Vlog comments. Okay, let's see. Hold on one second, I have to check one more thing. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? Okay. Going to my vlog. Oh, hold on. Going to my vlog. Why is this thing acting so crazy? Okay. She locked her door like 1,000 times. Okay. How many views does it have on it so far? Could you guys like this video and subscribe to it, please? Oh, there's not that many comments on it so far because it hasn't been up that long. Hey, Peter. That's from Jess. Hey, Jess. Jess is the one that told me that I should, I keep on feeling like I should move my car. Like the lighting is so bad in here. I'm sorry. She's the one that told me that I should put up a poll on Instagram asking like what songs I should sing on my drama channel. So Jess, thank you. That was such a great idea. And I didn't do a poll, but I did like a questionnaire kind of thing. And then Megan said, first, love you. Well, you're second, Megan, but you know what? Second is a runner-up to first place. So, Jane said, I love your singing, Peter. Hi, I'm first. I'm so glad. It's so funny because everybody thinks they're first because their comment, it looks like there hasn't been any comments there. And it always kind of makes me feel bad. I'm like, I want you all to be first. So she said, I love your singing, Peter. Hey, I'm first. I'm so glad you and Alex had a great trip. Oh, thank you so much. And then Ella gave me a bunch of blue hearts. Ella or Ela. And then Adriana said, hello, hello, hello. Hi, Peter. Hi, Wolfpack. Hey, everybody in the Wolfpack. Hi to Micah Judy in the comments. Hey, girl. Micah. I had to stop watching the drama video to come and watch the vlog. Then I'll go back after. Sending everyone so much love always. Also, I got to say, it feels so good to see an hour and 33 minutes again. LOL. I love the vacay vlogs, but nothing beats a homemade vlog at home and in the car from Peter. Aw, thank you. Adriana was also one of the winners of the review channel. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it. Thank you, Christy something, I think. Oh, Sean, Peter, I'm so glad to see you. I left drama class to come to your vlog. I'll go back and watch. I just love your vlogs. Oh, thank you so much. Karen said, I am so happy you like this shirt I had made for you. This shirt was fantastic and Alex absolutely loved it. I showed him tonight. And then Jill said to her, so very thoughtful of you. And then she said back, thank you. You guys, let me just tell you, I love that you comment to each other and you get to know each other in the vlogs and stuff like that. It just is, it's just such a nice thing. I have to honestly say, and this isn't because of me, this is because of you guys, I don't really see other comment sections of YouTube videos that are like that. Asbury put blue hearts. Thank you, Asbury. Megan said, I love hearing about other people's dreams. Thank you, Megan. Tammy put little... Tammy has watched my videos for... Creaky Halloween door. Forever. She put 2 little smiley heart faces. TRC Sunny said, you were an adorable baby, thank you. Lavros. Okay, I think Lavros recently found my channel and went back and started watching like all of my old vlogs because you commented on all of my old vlogs I noticed one night, which I really appreciate that, thank you. And they said, wow, pretty detailed dream. Sorry to hear it was a real nightmare. It was horrible. And then they said, another comment, you are doing a lot of good in the world, by the way. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you so much. Caitlin left a really long message, which I'm not going to repeat because it's very personal, so you can go and read it if you want to. But at the end, she said, my heart, she's talking about a recurring nightmare or dream that she had. And she said that gave me the chills for real. Thank you for keeping me company tonight. Oh, thank you so much. Let's go into yesterday's video and see what people had to say. Do you know what I wanted to do? Okay, so I did this video the other day. And I said marriage, and it got 7,500 views on it, which is like crazy for this channel. And me go in here and read. I think it was because of the thumbnail. It looked like I was bawling my eyes out. I was going to say something horrible about our marriage. Okay, so this is on the vlog I'm back, which was 2 days ago when we flew back. Adriana said, the extra I love you at the end made my day and got me crying. I literally only hear that from Peter, and it means the whole world to me. Much love to you, Peter, always, and to all the Wolf Pack. Oh, thank you so much. I know there's somebody in here that's going to say, every time you read the comments, it's the one video I don't comment on. Every time I get that from somebody that I do this. Oh my God, Jess is like #1 first every single time. Sean. Sarah. Everybody is so nice, saying that they were happy that we made it back home safely. Karen. Tammy with her hearts again. Another Tammy. Tammy and Tammy, or both Tammys have watched me for a long time. Stephanie. What's up, gal? Love ya. Stephanie I know in my real life. Basetown, awesomely epic. Fiona, try avocado toast with hummus under the avocado. That sounds good. Okay, Claire said she just watched the Dolan twins documentary about their dad. I'm forewarning everyone to keep a whole box of tissues ready. And then Bridget said, agreed. What an incredible documentary, though. Probably one of the best things I've ever seen on YouTube. The filming and editing was so well done. He certainly seemed like an amazing man. I have not watched that yet. I need to watch it. People keep on asking me to make a response to it. I'm not going to probably do that, but I do want to watch it. Lisa said, welcome back. Welcome back. Caught her, Lisa. Lisa and her 3-hour vlog that she's been requesting forever. Bridget said, I love your vacation vlogs on the floor. It gives me ideas for travel. Truth be told, my husband and I stayed at the Cosmopolitan after you inspired us to do so. How did you like it, Bridget? Somebody said, LOL, same. Love the Cosmo because of Peter, said Sarah. Oh my God, I love them too. And then NyQuil said, I agree, your hotel floor vlogs really let me feel the travel vacation fantasy. Aww. Some of these I've already read because they come in at different times. Ela or Ella always does blue heart, so thank you. Felicia, bye Felicia. Bye Felicia. Glad you're back, but glad you and Alex got away. Lee said hello, hello, hello. Evelyn said welcome home. Ms. Fod said, thank you for pronouncing Louisville correctly. Sincerely, every Kentuckian ever, LOL. It's Louisville. And this is, okay, so I had a friend whose name was also Peter, that when I was, when I was still drinking and using, he moved to Louisville, Kentucky. And actually, he moved down there like 2 months before, oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. Okay, he moved down there like 2 months before the 1993 National Entertainer of the Year pageant at the Connection. The year that Shayla Simpson won. That was the first national pageant that I ever went to, national drag pageant. Ooh, I was drunk that weekend. Anyway, that was, oh my God. Stories. I have some stories, I'll tell about that in just a second. But anyway, I don't know if I knew how to pronounce Louisville before then. 1111, make a wish. Okay. And then NyQuil said, oh, Peter, I love you too, thank you. Oh, here's Melissa. She said, I'm so, not my friend Melissa in real life, but another Melissa, who's also part of the book club. She said, I'm so glad that you and Alex had fun in Dallas. Let me tell you, if you ever come to Oklahoma, okay, L-A-H-O-M-A, Oklahoma, okay. She said, I guarantee you that you wouldn't be in love with my hometown. Don't get me wrong, I love my state, but we just don't really have anything here that is like amazing. And also, welcome home, Peter. We don't in Indianapolis either, so. But don't you think you kind of like just love your hometown sometimes? I hate when people say like, I hate Indianapolis. My husband says this actually a lot. When they're like, I hate Indianapolis. I can't wait to get out of here. Well, ain't nothing holding you back. No. My husband, like, there are things that he loves about Indianapolis, but they're like the town, the cold for him is like, any town that gets this cold, I think he would hate, because he just wants to be on a beach. Joker, more will be explained at the end of the movie. No spoilers, said Jennifer. Thank you. Okay, and then here, Atomic Girl, she spells it all. She said, so Joker is not connected to the other Batman films. It is entirely its own movie because a lot of comic book fans have always wanted Joker to have his own movie because his origins and story is so interesting. Todd Phillips' take is really putting a whole new modern angle on Joker with the mental health themes in the film. There is a new Batman film coming out with Robert Pattinson. Pattinson, who was in those books, the Twilight books. He played Edward in that, Colin. I just saw the new picture of him that came out. There's a new Batman film coming out with Robert Pattinson as Batman, so we're not entirely certain yet, but that will probably be connected to this Joker, because Joker set in 1970s. Because Joker is set in the 1970s, so it will be interesting to see if Joaquin Phoenix will come back to reprise his role as an older Joker. Thank you for that. That made a lot of sense. I really appreciate that, because I didn't understand it. Glad you're back, safe and sound. Marcella said, I love her profile picture. It's Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay. All the bright places supposed to be set in Orange County at one point. The Wesley Chapel Gulf, which is so close to me. Is it? I'm gonna be mad. Well, I'm not listening to that book. I changed the book. Should I tell you that? Okay. I was gonna listen to All the Bright Places, but I started listening to Hands Against the Wall or whatever by Maureen Johnson because it's shorter. Okay. This is Jenny, and she's sharing a very personal story about grieving. Oh, thank you for sharing what you shared about people grieve differently. I just realized that's how I had to do it. I agree with that. We all grieve differently. She said, now on to a happier topic. Can I be you and Alex when I grow up? I would love to go on trips every month. I'm 28. Would love to be a goal of mine. You know what? Alex and I had, well, let me go through some of these other ones first. Well, let's talk about it now. Alex and I made a decision last year that we really wanted to focus our finances and the extra spending that we do on taking trips. And that instead of spending our money on this or spending our money on that frivolously, that we wanted to really make a concerted effort to be able to travel more, that we really enjoy traveling together. And which is why, like, Alex booked these trips for, when I'm going to see Mel. He's flying to San Diego to see his brother-in-law. Well, his cousin Maya is going to be there too, but they're all going to this music festival. And I really wanted to go to San Diego to see Fufu and Jesse, but Alex is like, if you want to go that weekend, you can go, but we're going to be at the music festival the whole weekend. Do you want to go to the music festival with us? And I was like, no, I don't really want to go. So I thought he was probably just going to end up going by himself. So he booked it, though, so that Alex flies with me to Phoenix, and then he flies from Phoenix to San Diego, and then he flies back from San Diego to Phoenix, and then we fly from Phoenix to Phoenix to Indianapolis back home again together, because we love to fly together and stuff. But because I told him, I said, you don't have to do it that way. You know, like, I mean, I can fly by myself, obviously. I've done it a million times before. And he was like, it's actually cheaper that way. And he was like, no. He was like, I want to fly with you out there. So, you know, and we just had to make some concerted effort. The other thing that we had to decide was that maybe it was better to take shorter trips than take these 10 and 11-day trips. You know, that we love to take long trips. But if we could go somewhere for, like, you know, like when we're going to Miami for Ultra this year, we're not going for 7 to 10 days. We're going for, I think it's 5 or 6 nights. 6 nights, I think we're going, which is still a fantastic trip. But we're not doing the same kind of things that we did before. And it's really important for us to get our trips paid before we go on them. That's the other thing, too. So that we know that we can afford them, you know? Okay. Let's see. Tiandra said, I stayed at this Statler in October. So cute and nice rooms. Oh my God. It was right down the street from us. That's where we ate brunch. Was at the Over Easy restaurant that was downstairs. Like if you were looking at the hotel, it was to the right. Linda said, your vlog in Dallas were great. Hope you made it home safe. We'll like your new sneakers. Thank you. Asbury, blue hearts. Bonnie said, welcome back. Did y'all watch Welcome Back, Cotter, when you were a kid? I loved it. The Ev said, dear sweet Peter, please consider donating pee-pee things to a dog shelter. They would be well used and deeply appreciated. There are some things that we can donate, but like the thing is, the things that we would donate are things that the Boo and Tucker will still use. I don't know that a dog shelter, I mean, maybe they would, I guess I could ask, would use little dog sombreros and things like that. You know what I mean? I just don't know if that's something that they would really want. And some of the personal clothes, I would really have a hard time. I think I'll probably have a hard time letting go of anyway. But the toys and stuff, there are some toys that we could give away, but Boo and Tucker still use those. Melissa said, True Crime Book Club co-president Peter. I'd be scared to stay in a big house by myself. True Crime Book Club co-president Mel. Why? True Crime Book Club president Peter. I don't know. I'm sure it has nothing to do with true crime or anything. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Peter, oh my God, I'm retired police officer from Louisville. Everything you said is on point. Love you, babe. Okay, Lee comments on all of my videos about true crime stuff. I love you, Lee. You always keep me thinking. Okay. And then, oh, hold on a second. Oh, this is a long one. This is from KV, and it's about Gotham City, is like NYC, but in the Batman okay, so I'm going to read that one later. Okay, Julie said, you should stay at the Talking Stick Resort. It has a casino there as well as all the high-end amenities. So this is really funny that you commented and said this, because Mel actually already sent me the website to the Talking Stick Resort, which I want to stay, like, more. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't go there and gamble one night, but we'll see. Julie also said, thank you, I needed that extra, I love you. I love you too. Tammy Lee said, I really enjoy the Dallas vlogs, but of course I love the car vlogs just a little bit more. Hassie, who has watched forever, she sent toys, Christmas toys, to Carlitos and Sebastian last year. I love you so much, you know I do. She said, welcome back. Isabel said, I used to live in the Highlands. Glad you had a good trip. I love the Highlands. It's beautiful over there. Okay, Kara gave more information about, she said she loved Joker. It was intense, but she gave more information about Batman references. Stephanie said, flying coast to coast eating avocado toast. That's cute. Okay. Nick, blue hearts. Thank you, Nick. Stacy said, please do an Arizona meetup. It would make my year to get to meet you and Mel. She ain't nobody. You don't want to meet Mel. Forget about her. Imagine Wolf said, thank you for the extra I love you. I always feel so stupid doing it, and then people will say thank you for it. And I always feel so dumb doing it, and then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's my vlog. I'm going to do what I want. Whitney said, my husband is from Phoenix. He said Flagstaff is beautiful, but that he would never move back to Phoenix ever. And Mel responded and said, he's nuts. Phoenix is lovely. You ain't nobody, girl. That was the Mel, by the way. Terry said, sometimes we can have too many pictures and memories out. We never forget, but sometimes we don't need to focus on the loss all the time. I had to put things away. Everyone is different. They say out of sight, out of mind. You know, I agree with that. I think maybe it's a little early for that right now. Like, it's really helpful to me to see a lot of pee-pee things. Okay, Taser said, if you do an Airbnb, I would book soon. The last week of February is when everyone flies here for spring training. It gets pretty congested with out-of-towners. It's really interesting that you said that, because a lot of these Airbnbs say spring training on it, and I didn't know what that meant. Like, I was like, why does it say this on here? So thank you for letting me know that. Blue hearts, I cross my fingers, toes, and legs for a 3-hour vlog every day, said Heather. Okay, tonight's not going to be the night, but thank you for that. Mel said, can't wait until you get here. Oh my gosh. Can't wait until I get it. Tasha said, well, damn, I'm in a great mood, a great place, and then that extra I love you made me tear up. I suppose I needed to hear that. LOL. I cannot wait for you and Mel to meet in person. Those vlogs are going to be so much fun. I've got to finish my Hunter first. You better. I need to start watching that show. That's what I should. I'm watching Cheer now. Oh, well. Elise said, okay, Peter, when my husband and I go on vacation, we always stay in an Airbnb. We always go on the off season so we can get a huge house really cheap. I always feel really guilty staying in a big house, just the two of us. I wish I did the travel plans. I'd be able to give you tips. When we go to the house in Florida, we know the people that we're renting from. They know we want the off-season price. They love us because in their place is always rented. Have fun on your adventures, and we love you. Okay, so I guess people are telling me I should stay in an Airbnb. And then I already read Adriana's comments. That vlog, for having a lot of views on it, sure didn't have tons and tons of comments on it. That was interesting. Okay, let's see if I have any new comments on the newest vlog. I don't. Okay, so here's the deal. we'll talk about Arizona for a second. Do you guys remember that country song, There Is No Arizona? Do you remember that? Anyway, it's just a little side note. By, I think her name was Jada somebody. There is no Arizona, no painted desert, no something something. Do you remember that? Anyway, here's the deal with Arizona, okay? So, when I originally decided that, and you know, I had started off, I think earlier, did I say this? Or I've been talking to Alex and everybody about it. I may have said it earlier. I think I did when I was coming around the corner. That if I have to end up staying in a Holiday Inn or a Hilton or a Hampton Inn, you know, I'll just do that and whatever, and then I'll wait to the last minute. But now, after having read that comment, maybe I need to book it earlier. I don't know. I'm gonna go in there and see. I do know that I have like 7 places saved, and 2 of them are gone that got booked literally overnight. So I'm gonna have to get on there and look. Okay, here's the deal. So for Mel and I, it would be great to have a house to just hang out in and be able to, you know, like drink coffee and sit around and be loud and, you know what I mean? Like come and go as we want, and it wouldn't have to be any like, do you know what I mean? Like it's, if I'm staying in a hotel room, I mean, we could still do the same thing, but it's going to be small. It's going to be a small space for she and I to like sit there and hang out and go over stuff, right? So that's where I got started thinking about an Airbnb. Well, when I started looking at Airbnbs, I originally, because I don't think I've ever stayed in one. If I did, maybe it's only been once, like Alex and I, but I don't think I ever have. When I started looking, I didn't put the dates in. Okay, the camera has dropped. I didn't put the dates in. So a lot of the places were super cheap. I was like, oh my God, like I could get this unbelievable house for half the price of what I was gonna pay for a resort. Because when I originally just found out that I was going to Arizona, I was like, I wanna stay in Scottsdale. I wanna stay in one of these resorts that I always wanted to stay in, one of these golf resorts and all this kind of stuff. I can lay out by the pool during the day. Well, it's not gonna be that warm. That's the first thing, okay? Is that it's not gonna be super warm while I'm there. So I was like, I looked, Mel and I both, she looked and I looked, and it's gonna be like 70. So it's not like I'm gonna be laying out by the pool. Okay, if it was gonna be like 85, I would totally, like that would be a different story. So now I'm kind of like, I don't really care if I stay in a resort, and I don't wanna pay, I mean, some of these resorts are $500 to $700 a night. I don't really wanna pay $500 to $700 a night if I could literally get a really nice house with a pool for the same price, if that makes sense. So I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to, I'm gonna get a house. Well, I have like one place, one resort hotel that is, I'm like trying to decide if I want something to drink from McDonald's while I'm talking on here. I think I do, because I wanted to bring my drink that I reviewed, but I didn't do it. And I know that if I go to another, oh Lord, dropping my cup. If I go to another McDonald's, then it will probably be closed, but this one is always open. I'm just gonna put it on my card, so I don't have to mess with the change. So anyway, I was like, okay, I can still stay in, I mean, I have found Airbnbs that have pools that are less than these resorts. But then, when I started thinking about it realistically, I honestly thought, like when I said something to Mel about it, that Mel would be like, well, I thought we were gonna hang out, you know, at my place and whatever. And she was like, no, that's totally fine. Because I said, you know, like, you know, we can go out to dinner with your husband and whatever. And she was like, no, that's totally fine, because then my husband can kind of do his thing that weekend, and then you and I can do our thing. And then, you know, he won't feel like he has to sit there and be like with us the whole time and everything, which is totally how Alex would want to be too, right? So it totally made sense to me. Hold on a second. Don't tell me. This is the one that's always open.
How can I help you?
Yeah, can I get a large Dr. Pepper, please?
Whatever you have for you.
That's it.
$1.
And so then I was like, okay, well, I said to her if I got like an Airbnb, and she's like, oh my God, that would be perfect, you know? And so I started looking, and that was when I originally looked, and the prices were really, really low and stuff like that. But when I put the dates in, the prices shot up. And I was like, oh, now I don't know. Like if I could stay at a resort for the same price, maybe I should just do that. Does that make sense? And then when I was like, I'm looking at these places that have a pool, but the reality is if it's gonna be too cold to go swimming, then what's the point in getting a place with a pool? You know what I mean? How are you?
I got Halloween with at home. Yeah, I got Halloween at home though. I couldn't wear this. It's not Halloween.
She's got these 4-leaf clovers on. Thank you. She's very festive, isn't she?
Huh?
She's all festive with her hair.
Yeah, she always do that
Yeah.
every holiday.
What holiday is it?
She's too early. It's St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's Day, but we're not anywhere near that, are we? It's cute though. All right, thank you. Yeah, she's a little early for St. Patrick's Day. Isn't that in like March 16th or something? And it's I'm like, am I losing my mind? Are we in February? What's going on? So anyway, so what I had planned to do, but now I'm gonna have to do something different, all based on this one comment, I guess, is that I was gonna wait and literally till like days before. And then if because these houses keep on dropping in prices. Literally last night to today I looked and some of them like dropped like $100 overnight. So I'm like, well, I'll just wait and wait and wait. And then I'll get down and then I'll get me like an 8-bedroom mansion with a pool and I'll pay $500 for 3 nights total. You know, this is what Peter was thinking inside, right? Well, I guess that's not gonna happen. And I'm thinking Mel and I will just be doing Sound of Music through the whole place, singing and dancing through the whole mansion, you know? And it'll be us like floating on rafts in the 40-degree weather in the desert and wearing hoodies in the pool or something. And I was like, this is what I had imagined, but that's not what's gonna happen now because apparently everything is gonna be taken. I wondered why all of these places started getting taken. So anyway, spring training, I guess. I don't know what that means, but I need my lip balm. Spring training. So when I get home tonight, maybe I'll look a little bit more at some places and see if I can find anything, and then maybe I'll just book it. Just book it, Peter. Just do it and have fun and don't think twice. It's all right. The other thing is that, so I'm gonna rent a car while I'm there so I can kind of just do what I, you know, like go around and like, I don't have to depend on Mel for a ride and all that kind of stuff. And originally I was gonna go in, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in Arizona, I'm gonna rent like a Jeep for the weekend, right? Well, when I went in to go look at rental cars, a Jeep Wrangler is hands down more than like a Porsche Cayenne, more than a Range Rover. Hold on a second, because every time I say this, whenever I say this to somebody, they go, why would you need a Porsche Cayenne or a Range Rover? I don't, okay? I'm not saying that I need that, right? I'm doing a comparison study, and what I'm saying is, when you go in to go rent, you can rent like a Porsche Cayenne or a Range Rover for like 4 days for $500, okay? A Jeep Wrangler is $700. So I'm like, oh, I don't need that kind of much, I don't need that car. And the other thing that's interesting to me is that if you go through like Enterprise versus like Avis is a lot cheaper. Or was it Hertz? I can't remember. But one of them was a lot cheaper. So, but then I was telling Alex tonight at dinner, I was like, I don't need anything like that. I usually, when I go places, because I used to drive one, I usually always rent Ford Escapes because it's a nice car and it's reliable and I am comfortable driving it. So, unless I can get a really good deal, I'll probably do something like that. But the thing is, I was going to spend more money on like a Jeep Wrangler. I was going to be, because I just wanted to drive one for a couple days. I thought that would be really fun, you know? And, but I'm like, just get a cheaper car, and then that gives me a little bit more money to maybe, you know, like get a place that I want to do, or get a cheap place and get a cheap car and you know, take Mel out to a fancy dinner. Maybe that's what we'll do. Although Mel and I, both of us aren't real fancy people. Like, I was telling her, I was like, I'm kind of really, to be honest with you, I'm sure that Arizona has some great Tex-Mex places, and I love Tex-Mex food. Like, when it has like the side of the corn succotash, like, I love that stuff so much. We're gonna have so much fun. I'm so excited. He was so sweet to do this and talk to Mel about it and book it. I just, like, honestly cannot wait. I have to say, I used this coffee chapstick for so long that I am kind of, like, at this point, real over it. So, let me tell you the story, if I haven't. If you've already heard this, I apologize, but it's been a while since I told the story. So, my friend moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and he was really, really good friends. He lived in the same apartment, and it was like literally right down the street from the connection, and you like walked in, it was like this gated door, and you walked in, and it was like, he used to call it his friend's apartment, because you would walk in, and it was like all these apartments like around, like in the square, like in the middle was like a fountain, and it was all brick, and then the apartments were like along like this like three sides, you know, and then like this other side, but it was like a courtyard inside, and it was locked and gated. And he was to the left, and he had this friend, she was right to the back, Terry Vanessa Coleman. And Terry, I think, still performs. I don't know where she works now. Maybe Nashville? But Terry was competing in National Entertainer of the Year that year. And she was, like, up to win. Because she was from Louisville, and she was, like, the local fave, and she was singing live, and all this kind of stuff. She was doing Bridge Over Troubled Water. I don't know how I remember that. But she was, like, people were saying that she was, oh, it's going to stop. Hold on. Okay. But people were saying that she was going to win that year. This was 1993. So, I think she came in second runner-up. I can't remember who first runner-up was. She may have been first runner-up, I'm not sure. But anyway, and then we had another friend of ours from Indianapolis, Austria, that she was performing too. I remember her talent was the entire dance to Janet Jackson's If, and she had a bunch of dancers with her and stuff, and they were all coming down. And so it's the whole week before, right? Entertainer of the Year is like, they have like, I think it starts on Tuesday night, and they do like interview, and they do all this kind of stuff. But anyway, they do all these prelims, and then Friday and Saturday night are like let's say if there's 50 people in the pageant, I don't know how many, 30, 50 people in the pageant, like all the girls do, like, they do like talent and evening gown, or like, no, evening gown and, like, one night they'll do evening gown and interview, and the next night they do talent, and then they switch off, if that makes sense, and presentation. And so they switch off. So Friday night they do like, it's like 5 hours. Saturday night it's like 5 hours. And then Sunday night is the final night, and it's top 10, top 15 or something, I don't know what it is, but anyway, and then they do, all of them that are in the top 10 or 15 do talent, evening gown, and interview. But that whole week, everybody goes down there, right? So it's just crazy. And we were down there for the whole week. My girlfriend and I, the one that I went to kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school, she and I went down there for the whole week. God. What a mess. Okay, I have never... Now, mind you, this is back in the day when I was using it. I've never smoked so much pot in my entire life. That whole week, I just was smoking pot left and right. And was drinking like crazy. Every night, drinking like crazy. And, woo! So my friend, Duke, that ended up, he took his own life. He passed away when I was probably 26, 27. He was down there that weekend too. And so it was my friend that I grew up with, him, and myself, and the three of us were staying in my friend's apartment. And it was crazy. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, we were helping her, Terry, like bead gowns and do all this kind of stuff during the day and get her talent ready. And we were having so much fun. And then at night, we would go out every night and just drank like fools. And we went out to dinner, went to the mall, went shopping. Oh God, it was such a fun week. We had so much fun. Like, you know, not all of my memories of drinking and using are horrible, but that, I blacked out a lot. But I will tell you, okay, Duke and I, we met, so all of the drag queens are up in their dressing rooms. Well, we knew half of them because we had met them through all of our friends in Indianapolis that had done drag. So when these girls would come to Indianapolis to like perform, and they were like from out of town, and they were, you know, so we had met. They were giving us drink tickets left and right. We had so many free drink tickets. We weren't paying for drinks. We were so drunk that whole weekend. So anyway, we met this, I don't even know if this queen is still around anymore, but her name's Motion, and she was from Atlanta. Oh my God, we had so much fun. Duke and I, we were around that bar that whole weekend, and we were on the dance floor, and we were doing high kicks. You could not tell us we were not the cutest guys in Louisville, Kentucky that weekend, okay? You could not tell us. And I remember Duke and I dressed like twins the whole weekend. It was very much that whole like Madonna, Sandra Bernhardt thing. And we were wearing like, one night we would do like black jeans with white t-shirts. You know, the big black belt, and then like black Doc Martens. And then the next night we would do like black t-shirts and blue jeans, and, you know, the belt. We did all of that with the flannel tied around your waist. You know what I'm talking about? All that kind of stuff. Okay. We had so much fun. We were doing high kicks. This Motion, this was back before RuPaul's Drag Race, okay, and the death drop and all that kind of stuff. But queens did it back then too. They did the death drop, and they do like these really high kicks, and then they just drop to the floor. Well, Motion was kind of known for that. Motion was known for doing all these like tumbling tricks and stuff like that on stage. Incredible dancer, absolutely incredible dancer. And I think Motion's talent was Janet Jackson's If too. And I think only one of them like made it, and I think it was Motion. I think our friend Austria didn't make top 10, and I don't think she cared either. But anyway, so we had, and Austria and Duke were super, super, super close. She works in Nashville now, I think. I haven't talked to her in, God, 20 plus years, I think. Oh, actually, Alex and I saw her one time. Duke and I had so much fun that weekend. Oh my God. I remember another friend of ours came from Indianapolis, and he was staying with somebody else, and my girlfriend, she like kind of hung out with him the whole weekend. And then, oh God, it just was. And then my roommate, she ended up down there. She came with two other guys because she ended up driving back with us. And like all of Indianapolis was in Louisville, Kentucky that weekend. Like all of us that used to hang out together, we were like all there that weekend. And it was so much fun. Oh my God. I just, so much fun. But Shayla Simpson, she won National Entertainer of the Year. And she did this song called From Bubbling Brown Sugar, the musical, and it was His Eyes on the Sparrow. And it, well, she first did a clip from The Color Purple, and then that clip went into His Eyes on the Sparrow, which went into this very fast, like, gospel dance version of Amazing Grace. And it was incredible. And I mean, when she was done with her dancers, the crowd went up. I mean, everybody was standing up, and it was crazy. That final night, I will never forget. It was so packed in that auditorium. My friend, she was so funny. She was so over it. We literally stood there from like, I think the pageant started at like 10, and we had to get in there at like 9 something to make sure that we had seats, and there were no seats left. And we didn't buy seats that year, so we just did like standing room only. Every year that I went after that with my ex, we would always get like a table, because it was like $100 for like a table of 4, which I mean, $100 so you can sit through the whole night. Because I'll tell you that first, one year he and I actually, that's not true. The first year we went, we stood in the balcony. She and I, we stood about, and my friend Duke, we stood like 6 people back, okay, up by the bar. And so you're watching the show through like 6 people, and we were literally like, I remember, so like, she had to work that Monday night. I will never forget. She had to work And so she wanted to get home so she could sleep. So the pageant didn't end until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And we're like, now I have been drinking the entire night, right? She hadn't drank a thing, which is why she was real over the pageant anyway. And she drove from Louisville, Kentucky up to Indianapolis with my roommate and I and our friend Duke, all three of us, okay, just tanked, just and she was driving and she was so over it the whole way home. I know she was so happy when she dropped the three of us off at my apartment. But anyway, so, because she had to like work the next evening and she had to go to bed. She was like, I have to get home and go to bed because we were going to stay there. She's like, I have to work, I can't stay. So, and she was our only way home, so of course we went with her. But we stood from like 9:30, 10 o'clock, stood in the same spot until like 4 a.m. Oh my God. Duke and I constantly on the lookout for cute guys. Always. That was back in the day when people went to bars to actually like meet somebody. You know? God, that was such a fun week. I think that my focus at that time was really on partying and not school and things like that. I just didn't really care a whole lot about school. That was 1993, so that would have been a year and 2 months before I got, well, not 2 months, because that was August, July. I think it was the end of July is National Entertainer of the Year, so it would have been like August, September, October, November, December. Wait. August, September, October, November, December. So 5 months. So it was a year and 5 months before I got sober. What was really weird was that this guy that was there, that like I knew from Indianapolis, but we weren't close, he and I, like almost a year, yeah, it would have been like a year later, he and I started dating, and that was bad news. It was like the beginning of the end for me. That was when I was like really, really heavy into drugs and stuff. It was bad. And that was the relationship where he would say really kind of like really cruel things to me that I still hear in my head to this day about like my body image and things like that. You know, I look back on that and I think about it, like he wasn't really a mean person. I don't really know why he chose me to like pick on. I think about that though, that like, I don't think about it very often, but I think about that relationship, like, he just was not very nice to me at all. And I like really, you know, I've been talking a lot about like attention and validation lately. He was somebody that I dated that like I really, really needed his attention and validation, or at least I thought so at the time. And really would have like done anything for his attention and validation. And I look back on that relationship and I think it's so stupid. Just so that I could say I was with him, quote unquote, that I was with him, or that we were a couple, you know, like, it didn't mean anything. I don't think I meant anything to him, but I really don't, you know? And I don't really honestly think that he meant a whole lot to me either. I don't even really think I liked him that much. So I don't know why, you know, in retrospect, I put myself, and that wasn't the only situation that I put myself into a situation like that, you know, where I was dating somebody that probably wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like I was great for them either, let's just be for real. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's funny how you change over time. It's like you look back at yourself. I mean, like as I'm talking, I'm seeing myself like talking to him like in my apartment, and I'm like seeing myself interact with him, you know, and it's like as you get older and you look back on your life, it's almost like you're watching a film. I was going to say film strip, not to date myself. Film strip, like in elementary school. But when you look back on your life, at times, it's almost like you're watching a film or a movie of somebody else's life. Like it wasn't really you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I look back on that and I think, well, that wasn't really me. Or was it? You know, just look, it seems so strange in retrospect. I don't know. I think things work out the way they're supposed to sometimes. Remember when I got into treatment, he and I hadn't even been dating for like a month and a half, and I was like consumed with him. Like, I would get on the phone on these pay phones. Like, I would go to group and come out. Like, I would go to group therapy and come out and like immediately call one of my friends. I would like go to an educational group and come out and immediately call my friends. This was like my first couple days, like on the rehab unit side. And I would, you know, people couldn't call in directly and I couldn't pick up the phone and talk to them. That's changed a little bit in some treatment programs now, but back then it was like really, really strict. But they could leave notes, and so like they could call and leave a message, and so it would say like Judy Smith called, and then they would have these little pieces of paper that would say Judy Smith called, and it would be folded over and taped to the counter, so we could go up there and it would say like Peter, my name on it, and then I could like grab it and it would say who called, right? And then I could call them back. Which I have to say, I didn't get a lot of people that were calling me in treatment, but my dad had called a lot of people that were close friends of mine and said, if you really care about Peter, don't have any contact with him right now because you're not helping him. And I think a lot of people knew really how bad it was, so they listened. Yeah. But I was pretty consumed with him. And I can remember, like, I would call my friends and I'd be like, well, have you seen so-and-so out? Well, what was he doing? Because he was dating somebody else by then. And I would be like, actually, the person that he was dating just passed away not too long ago. It was so weird to me when I just was like, God, I mean, like, in my head, I still saw him as, like, 25 years ago, you know? And when I saw pictures of him, I was like, God, he doesn't even look like the same person. Because we've all grown up. But I mean, I would I said, I was consumed. I would like call people and be like, have you talked to so-and-so? Have you seen him out? What's he doing? Who's he with? I hadn't even dated him for like 2 months, 6 weeks or 2 months or something. And we weren't even like a great couple when we did date. And we didn't even date for that long. We dated for like 3 or 4 months. I look back on it, it's so stupid in retrospect, you know? But it wasn't like that just with him. I mean, it was like that with anybody that I dated. You can talk about codependent. I think probably the reason that Codependent No More book by Melody Beatty like really meant so much to me was because, I mean, if you looked up codependent in a dictionary, I'm sure my picture was glaring right back at you. I mean, I really, really, really defined my existence by other people. I really had no sense of self-worth, no sense of self-concept, no confidence, no self-love whatsoever. I completely defined my existence by somebody else needing me or wanting me or desiring me. And if they didn't, then I had no room for them in my life. Very selfish. You know, when we talk about addiction being rooted in selfishness and self-centeredness, I mean, it's absolutely 100%. But I look back on that, you know, and I think to myself, like, it goes beyond just being selfish with the things that you do. It goes along, I mean, the way that you think and who you are as a person. And for me, you know, it was very much like if you didn't need me on an emotional level, I had no need for you, like, in my life, right? Like, I mean, even with my friends, like, if you weren't calling me and, do you know what I mean? Like, I look at that, I'm just like, that's crazy. Anyway. I'm not that person today, but it's taken a lot of work. Oh, before I go out here, I know what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. Something in my car smells like an airplane. Isn't that weird? I can't believe Tanya hasn't texted me. I said, text me when you get home so I know that you're home safe. I'm sure she just was tired and probably called her son when she got in. She usually texts me though and it's like, I'm home. I think they were supposed to get, I don't know what time they got in though. This vanilla lip balm, this Lip Smackers vanilla. Yeah, it says it right there, vanilla lip balm. Lip Smackers. It tastes exactly like cake batter. I was talking to my friend this weekend. I was talking to her about lip gloss because she had lip gloss at the wedding. And I was like, oh my God. And I said this, I think it was Marc Jacobs is the new lip gloss that I really like, but it smelled just exactly like the Manny MUA Lunar Beauty lip balm, which you guys know is my favorite. And I said it smells just like cake batter. And she was like, I don't really like lip stuff that tastes like anything or smells like anything. Like, I like it just to be like fragrance free. And she like handed me this lip gloss that she was using, which like it had like color to it, so I didn't use it. But I almost kind of feel like it was Fenty Beauty, but I'm not sure. But she said, and I smelled it, and there was like literally no fragrance to it at all. And I said, you don't like anything that has any fragrance to it? She's like, no, I don't really like stuff that has fragrances to it, like for my makeup and stuff like that. She doesn't wear a lot of makeup anyway, but maybe it wasn't Fenty Beauty. I feel like it was something that maybe was a little bit more like mainstream, like, I don't know. I mean, Fenty Beauty's mainstream, but I meant more like something that you can get in a department store, more like, you know, Chanel or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I don't know, Clinique or something like, it was something like that, you know. I do like the lip balms and stuff that taste. Somebody like commented, they'd seen one of my videos, somebody that I went to like elementary or junior high with, elementary school, and I was, who was it? And I was talking about having chapped lips. Oh my God, I just remembered. And she like saw one of my videos where I was like doing a review of lip balms or something. And she was like, I totally remember you in elementary school with those red lips that looked like you had lipstick on. I mean, it was so bad. I used to have the worst chapped lips in my entire life. And my dad got the school nurse. I would get him in the winter. I mean, every winter, like 3 years in a row or something. But I just remember one year. But I would get him every year. And I think it was because I licked my lips a lot. And I also sucked my thumb, so I think that had something to do with it. But I would get the most horrible chapped lips. I mean, they were bright, bright, bright red. And my dad got a little jar of Vaseline. All the kids would make fun of me, and they would say, oh, he wears lipstick because he's gay. He's a gay boy, so he wears lipstick. And my dad got me this little jar, a little plastic container of the battery's gonna die. This little container of Vaseline, and then I got to carry it around with me at school. He got the teacher to, or he got the nurse to let me carry this Vaseline around with me. Then all the kids were jealous. They wanted to use my Vaseline, but I said that they couldn't use it because they didn't have chapped lips like me, see? And because they shouldn't be making fun of them. That wasn't very nice. But I didn't say that stuff. I joke about that now, but I never did back in the day. I would never have looked at somebody and say, you shouldn't say those things to me because that's not very nice. I just shut my mouth. I was too scared to stand up for myself. Not today. Well, that's not true, I guess. I guess it depends on what it is. I think you would think like I'm somebody that really likes confrontation, but I really don't. I really don't. I don't enjoy that energy that goes along with it. You know, it just, that it's like extremely, oh, it's gonna stop and I'm gonna pull in here and change my battery, so hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I pulled into this area in here because I thought that it was like just one giant parking lot, and I was like, oh, I can turn around and I can go out that way. Oh, no. And then I was like, and it's an Amazon Prime place, and I was like, where did I just pull in? And you guys, I am behind this building that I have, oh, I can't get through here, thank God. I'm like in this building where there's like this police cars and stuff parked behind here, and I don't know what it is. But I pulled in, like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, people are gonna be looking at me and stuff. Thank God I could get out of this parking lot, because I was like, I don't know where I am at. I don't know what that place is. I have no idea. There's like 2 police cars in the back. There's like 1 light on in the whole place, and 1 other car there. I'm like, what is going down here? Let me out of here. This is just an office buildings here or something. Now I don't remember what I was saying before. About my chapped lips. Something about my chapped lips, I think. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't have those chapped lips anymore. Because I wear lip balm 365 days a year. I coat it on like it's going out of style. Oh, man. I looked over here. There's like this State Farm insurance agent, and I thought it said Chuck E. Cheese. State Farm. I thought that'd be really funny if his name was Chuck E. Cheese and he was a State Farm agent, but it's not. It's not his name. Not even close. You could kind of start seeing it, and it kind of like focused in. It's funny when you drive around like as much as I do, like, you know, vlogging at night, and you start looking at stuff and you see stuff that things say that you wouldn't normally notice. It's like funny how, like, especially if you drive around during the day versus at night, because I drive around a lot at night, you know, so you see things clearer at night, kind of, because they're like lit up, and there's also not a lot of people out. There's not as much traffic. During the day, when you're just driving around, and like this isn't an area of town that I usually drive around during the day anyway, because I just come down here to vlog and then turn around and go back, because I kind of know how long it is either way. There's like 4 different routes. I said to Tanya the other day, I said, do you say route or route? She said route. I said, I say route. But anyway, there's like 4 different routes or routes, whatever way you say it, that I take to vlog. And sometimes I kind of mix them up and all that kind of stuff, but so I don't get bored. But it's funny the things that you notice at night. Like, oh, I didn't know that store is there, that you would never know, you know, like if you, like that. It's like a Karma Records store. I didn't even know Karma Records even existed anymore. We used to go there when I was in high school for concert tickets. I remember my friends going to get, oh shoot, what was the band? Social Distortion tickets. And, do you remember back in the day? Oh my God, these are the old days of tickets. Do you remember when people would camp out like the night before to get concert tickets because they would go on sale, and you had to be at the place where they sold them like the next morning? And my friends would camp out all night. Like, my mother would never have allowed it. I think maybe one night I snuck out and did it. I can't remember. But do you remember that back in the day? And you could only, like, if you're going to buy a ticket, you could only get like max of 2 or 4 or something like that. So, at least like 2 people would have to like camp out together so they could get all the tickets. Do you remember that? Now we have Ticketmaster and all this other kind of stuff, so you don't have to do that anymore. It's kind of funny, isn't it, that like with technology goes this experience that people will never have again, to have like that waiting, like those things that people like complained about. But I'm sure there's a lot of friendships made. My friends, they would talk about, you know, I have these 2 girlfriends in high school. Well, I have 2 friends that are twins. And then there was another friend, and they were the ones that would always like wait in line, because their parents didn't care how late they were out or anything like that, and they got straight A's anyway. So, but I can remember they would always like meet people. Like they'd be like, oh, we met these people that went to this high school, or we met these people that went to that high school. Like they were always meeting people in these lines of places. Or I remember this one night, my good Judy, I wasn't there this night, but they ran out of gas and had to walk to this gas station to get gas, which cracks me up. But anyway, and while they were at this gas station, they met these two guys. And one of them, my good Judy started dating. And he went to another school. And I remember she started dating him. And they were like, these guys were like real punk rock. Like the guy had like a you know, foot high mohawk and all that kind of stuff. He was real good looking though. I wonder what happened to him. I bet if I thought about it long enough, I could come up with his name. I know his first name. I don't know his last name. I wonder if she would remember. We hardly ever talk anymore. If I thought about it, you know, they say wiggle your toes and you'll remember. It'll set off neurons in your brain and you'll start to remember things. I bet if I really thought about it, I could come up with his name. Do you ever do like the alphabet thing where you go through the whole alphabet? Like you go like Peter A, Peter B, Peter C, Peter D, Peter E, Peter K, Peter L, Peter M, Peter Monn. Do you ever do that? I do that. I'm gonna do that with him. I just remember his last name starts with an S. I don't know how I remember that. And then I'm gonna have to go on the Facebook and look him up and see what happened to him. And then this guy that I thought was cute, even though my friend was dating him, that I idolized because he had a perfect mohawk and was real punk rock, and had his ear pierced with a safety pin and wore black nail polish. He's probably now sold out, and he's real boring, and it'll just make me feel even older than I already am. That is what Facebook is all about right there. That's the depression of Facebook, isn't it so true though? I'm like in my head as I'm vlogging trying to remember what this guy's name was. I totally do not remember what his friend's name was at all, but my friend used to wear this. She had like a t-shirt made that said this, but she would sign. Do you guys remember writing notes? If you're my age, you'll remember writing notes in high school. I don't know how they do it today with text messages and stuff like that, and phones that you're not even supposed to have in school, but we wrote notes and it was fun. And it'd be like, do you want to go out tonight? Like, should we go to, we passed notes back and forth. We would like, you know, you'd start a note at like 9 a.m. Oh my God, I am in math and it's so boring. I'm so bored. Mrs. Jones is the most boring teacher in the entire world and her pantyhose don't match. Okay, are we meeting for lunch today? And then you pass it to your friend, and then like she would fill it out in the next class and she'd pass it back to you, so you'd have this note that went back and forth, right? Well, we did it with notebooks sometimes. My mother found one of my notebooks. Oh my God. She highlighted stuff and circled it. She wanted to know what stuff meant. I was like, oh my God, Mother, seriously. I told her it was all made up and I was writing a book. That's what I told her. I said, don't even worry about it. I'm writing a book. It had stuff in there about, oh my God, I just can't even get into it. But anyway, so my friend, she would sign all of her notes with the peace sign plus the anarchy sign was possible. And I used to think that was so cool. I'd be like, oh my God, it's so true. Like peace and anarchy are possible. And I look back on that and I'm like, no, it's really not. Like peace and anarchy are completely polar opposites. Like that makes no sense whatsoever. There's no such thing as peace and anarchy together. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But we were punk hippies. So we believed it. And she'd always be like, peace and anarchy are possible. Do you remember getting into those conversations with people where you would be like, you'd sit around and you'd have like a 2-hour conversation about something that was so stupid it made no sense whatsoever? Do you remember that? Whenever I see that movie Dazed and Confused, which is one of the most fantastic movies on the face of the earth, and they're sitting there and they're having the conversation about the weird stuff on a dollar bill, like, those were the kind of conversations, high or not, drunk or not, like even just completely stone sober, those were the kind of conversations we had in high school. And I look back on all of that, and I think that's so hilarious that I had, this is a Nissan Xterra next to us. I used to drive that car. That was one of my favorite cars. That might be my favorite car I've ever driven in my life. But anyway, I look back on that and I think about how funny that is, you know, that all these crazy conversations that we had. We thought we'd be friends forever. You know, we thought we would talk all the time. Do you know, I think one of the things that's sad, this is just me being 100% transparent and honest, but I think what's really sad about it sometimes is when, you know, I have friends of mine, like, from high school that, well, all of my friends I would love to see again and strike up friendships, right? But I think, like, when you get to the point, like, I was, like, my roommate, she and I were, like, super close. Like, super close. We used to talk about, like, if we hadn't met anybody by 30, you know, we'd get married and all this kind of stuff. We were so close. And I haven't seen her in so long. And I remember there being a day when I thought, I mean, we were literally like brother and sister. And I thought, I remember when she moved, I felt so gutted emotionally. I guess this is really like telling of like grieving the loss of friendships and stuff. I mean, our friendship separated because she moved. It was that simple. It was nothing deeper than that. And we talked and we talked and we wrote letters, and she wrote me like every day. And then it was further and further apart, and our lives became different, and she started doing her thing and I did mine, and we started talking less and less. And then time went on. And she even moved back here at one point. And I can remember it had been several years. It had been like 5 years, I think. And I ran into her just randomly by the library, at the library or by the library, because she and I used to go to the library a lot. We would get like movies and stuff. And I remember we would like rent movies from the library, and we would go get candy, and we always would get like chips and salsa, and then we would get that orange slice candy, because she would always have to have something sour or something sweet. And I mean, she went to like my family holidays and everything. And I remember so much time had gone by, and she was living with her brother at the time, and she like, who she was really close with. And I ran into her at the library, and she had a new car, and we talked about the new car, and it was so weird. It was like, I didn't know her anymore. Like, I felt like I didn't know her. And then for a while, then she moved away and met this guy, and then they ended up getting married, and he's from another country, and so she lives there now. And for a while, we would talk like once a year. And then I would say that stopped about 5 or 6 years ago. And you know, the weird thing is, like, if I saw her tomorrow, like, I would love to see her. Like, I would die to see her, you know? But, like, I don't really have much emotional attachment left to that relationship. Like, if she called tomorrow, of course, I would do anything for her. But, I mean, I haven't really seen her. Like, not really seen her and been friends with her, hung out with her in like 20 years. I mean, if she needed me, I would be there for her. But like, I don't really have any emotional attachment to her anymore. Like, I don't often think about her, which is weird, because if you know me in my personal life, I'm the friend that holds on the longest. Like, I'm typically the friend that, like, wants to, you know, I mean, I thought, like, when we were in high school, we were all, like, the big chill, and I thought we were going to be together forever. I mean, I really did, and that's not the case. But you know, I think about her sometimes and I think, I don't even know, like, what I would say to her. Like, I met Tanya after she and I stopped living together and she moved away. I don't even know how I would explain to her, like, my friendship with Tanya. Like, Tanya and I have been best friends for 22 years. So it must have been 22 years ago, something like that, 23 years ago. Tanya and I have been friends 23 years. I can't remember, but anyway. Tanya and I actually figured it out not too long ago how long it had been based on how old her son was when we met. But like, I don't even know how it would, I mean, she hasn't even been present for 2 of my relationships, you know? It's just crazy. And I don't know her husband. I've never met her husband. I've never talked to her husband. I don't know anything about her life. And there's so many people like that, you know? But then, a couple years ago, my 2 friends that are twins, their father passed away and they came home for the funeral and they let us know that they were in town. And the other friend of ours that I went to my high school reunion with, the 4 of us, like, we went and we drove around and we listened to old music that we used to listen to, and we went back to my friend's condo and we got pizza and we sat around, and it was literally like no time had passed. I mean, it was like no time had passed at all. It was so much fun. And I mean, and in all reality, yeah, we were all of us very different, you know? And I think that for maybe one night, we were able to go back in time and just be who we were back then. And, you know, but we also had conversations about our marriages and who we were today and all that kind of stuff, you know? And I remember leaving there and I didn't really leave with any kind of longing. Like, I didn't, like, come home and tell Alex, like, I missed him, or that I wanted to be, like, best friends with all these people again, like, who live cross country and our lives are completely different. I would love to hear from them. You know, like, I'm trying to get a bunch of people together for our reunion next year that we were all friends, like 6 or 7 of us, because I think that would be really fun. But would I want to recreate that today? I'm different today than who I was in high school. I think if I went back to high school today, I don't think I would be friends with the same people today. I don't know, maybe I would. I mean, they got me through high school. I mean, they absolutely saved my butt. If it wasn't for the girls that I was friends with in high school, I wouldn't even be here today. They saved my life. But I think who I am today, going back to high school, I don't think I would be friends with the same people. I just don't think I would have been drawn to that. I think the fact that I was so quiet and sheltered, and not sheltered like, you know, I didn't grow up sheltered, but I mean, like, within my own little, I was quiet. I talked to my friends, but outside of that, I didn't really talk to other people. I didn't go to pep rallies. I didn't go to sports things. I think I would today. You know, I think the person that Peter is today would want to get involved and want to go do things. And if people didn't like me, I'd be like, you don't like me, you don't like me. I mean, here I am. I don't know what to say about it, you know? It's interesting because my one friend that watches my vlog, you know who you are, I think she and I'm not just saying this because she watches my vlog, but she was kind of in between being real different and being kind of like her own self and being a little popular too. I think she and I probably would. I think she and I actually, because we were close, but we weren't that close. We weren't close the way that I was close with some other of these girls. I think she and I probably, had we met in high school, would have been closer. I think she and I were more alike back then than I even knew. But, like, I look at some of my friends and I think it's weird that I was friends with them. I think if circumstances were different, I wouldn't have probably been friends with those people, you know? I don't know. I also think if I went to high school today versus 1990, when I graduated, I think that the generation, or that era, I think had a lot to do with who I was and how I acted. I think I couldn't be who I wanted to be in 1990. I think in 2020, I still don't think it's 100% safe. Obviously, I don't think it's even 80% safe. But I think it's safer than it was to be who you want to be. I came from 2 parents that could have given a shit who I wanted to be. They just wanted to support me and love me. So I could have been whoever I wanted to be. If I wanted to be flamboyant and, you know, whatever, I could have done that. I think, social media wise, I probably would have been somebody in high school that was drawn to doing YouTube or doing TikTok or things like that, because I'm just like, I like to naturally be funny and entertain. And so I think if, like, I was in high school today, who I am today as a person, like my core personality, I think my high school experience would be much different. I also think I would probably be involved in like theater or something like that. You know what I mean? I think my need of sense of belonging that I realized today, I mean, if all of us knew these things too, looking back in retrospect, I mean, I think all of my sense of need to belong to something would have forced me to get over my fear, my social anxiety, which was so bad at that time. My social anxiety in high school was horrific. I think that having worked through a lot of it today, I would have gone and joined things. I would have shown up. I would have realized these are but limited times that you have. You know, I look back at high school, as cruel as it was at times, as bullied as I was, I look at it as this time set in space that I was able to be and be whoever I wanted to be, and, you know, be whoever I wanted to be, you know what I mean? And like that, I can remember the day I graduated, I felt like, okay, like everything that I knew is gone. And as crap as I had in time I had in school, although I had some good times in school too, but out of school, I had a great time in high school with my friends, but I just knew it was all different. It was all over. And I think that's when my drinking and my drugging really picked up, was after high school. I don't know that, I think, you know, I kind of knew who I was a little bit back then, and I felt safe in knowing that I get up and I go to school and I do this and I do that, but like when that was over, I don't think I knew who I was supposed to be anymore. Like, I don't think I knew, like, you know? It took me a long time to admit that my drinking and drugging, I think, although organic, and I think I was born an alcoholic and an addict, I think a lot of it also came out and resulted from me not being okay with being gay when I first came out, and having pushed it down and it being inside of me for so long, and I didn't know how to deal with the fact that everybody had been right, and this one thing that I should have been okay with, I was denying. I mean, you know, like the coming out process is interesting, right? So, especially if you're somebody that was effeminate like I am, okay? I'm just talking from a gay male point of view. So you're effeminate and people have told you all your life, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. And you're like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. And you push it down, right? And at some point you push it down with yourself. Now I would say I pushed it down for myself at the beginning. Through time, like I knew in my head, like I'm gay, but I don't want to deal with it. Like, and I'm not going to deal with it. I mean, I would have that conversation with myself. Like, I'm going to have a girlfriend, and I'm not going to be gay. And, like, people joke about it, and they'll say things like, oh, was your girlfriend, like, a mask for you? Was your girlfriend, like, what's the word? A beard? That's not funny, okay? That's called self-preservation. And I didn't go into it thinking I'm going to have a girlfriend to be a beard. I thought, what are my options? I better get used to having a girlfriend because it's not realistic for me to be out. People that aren't out, like, you don't really ever think it's a possibility that you're going to be able to be out. Like, that doesn't seem like reality to you, you know? And I was terrified of it. And so I think when I came out, like, I had pushed it down and not been okay with it, to the point where I was just like, I can't continue to live like this anymore. I have to live on my own. I think Tanya just texted me and said home. Yeah, she did. So I had pushed it down and pushed it down and pushed it down. It was at the end. I had pushed it down and pushed it down and pushed it down to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to come out. I have to be out. I have to live my life. no matter at what expense at this point, I can't do this. I'm going to be happier on the other side. And I think, you know, I had met some people that were gay through friends of mine that like worked in the mall. I talked about that not too long ago on here. And so I knew a couple people that were gay. And I was like, you know, the month before I came out, I had gone to like a gay bar a couple times, and I just knew, you know, like, I mean, I had been done, I had like inside, it's been so long, I don't know, but I've been denying the truth for so long. I mean, it wasn't like if you asked me, I mean, if it wasn't like inside I was saying I'm not gay. It was like inside I was saying to myself, I know I'm gay, but I can't imagine myself being out. I can't imagine myself saying those words and saying I'm gay. Like, that was terrifying to me. I don't know. I can remember, honestly, standing like in the bathroom and like mouthing it and being like afraid to even mouth it out loud, right? So when I came out, it wasn't like all of a sudden I just was like proud, hey, here I am, you know, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. I mean, it wasn't like that. It was like, I'm out. Now, what do I do with all this self-hatred that I pushed down for so long, that if I wasn't gay, if I wasn't effeminate, if I wasn't this person, people wouldn't hate me, people wouldn't make fun of me, and people wouldn't bully me? Because what happens is that when you look at that, it's you that you end up hating. Because if you weren't that way, nobody would be making fun of you. But you are that way. You, me. So if somebody hates something about me, they hate me. And that's my fault, right? What I didn't realize was that that wasn't it. Like, you know, and genetically I believe that I was born gay. It didn't have anything to do with that, you know, that like, it wasn't my fault. But I think inside what happened was I developed this internal hatred. I developed this sense of hatred towards myself. And I think as a result of that, to put on a happy face and to show everybody I'm okay with being gay, I'm okay with being out. See, you didn't get one over on me. I'm just fine. I think I started drinking like crazy, and I started using drugs like crazy, and that was really when my addiction catapulted. And I have to say also that my being effeminate quadrupled. I went from trying to be somewhat normal to being like, I do not give a F what y'all think of me. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, and I'm gonna be who I want to be. But I wasn't doing it in a healthy way, you know? I wasn't taking care of myself. And I think that also manifested into me instantly needing a boyfriend. Because I hopped from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend forever. And I just needed somebody that would love me. Just somebody that would think I was good enough and worthy enough to be loved for being gay. Okay, it wasn't like a parental love that I was looking for. I was wanting a romantic love. Because I felt like jaded that I had missed out on what everybody else got in high school with having these relationships. I wanted that relationship. I was ready for that relationship. I felt like I deserved that relationship. And I also internally wanted somebody to make me feel whole, to make me feel like I was good enough for being gay. They loved me for being gay. Not just like, I love you, and if you're gay, I love that too about you, like my parents and my family. No, I wanted somebody that loved that gay part of me, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted somebody that, like, I wanted another guy to romantically love me. Like, I needed that. And I think that turned into me being really, really codependent. I think it turned into me being extremely needy in relationships. And you know, just, am I drinking out of control? Because I just was numb, I think. Emotionally, I just was like super numb, and I don't know. I just didn't have to really think about much. So, yeah. It's weird when I look back on that period of my life, you know? And And then I think what happened was, like, when I was talking about, like, my friend Duke and stuff, like, I started meeting people that were similar to me or had, you know, similar stories. You know, when I first came out, I met so many people that were my age that had come out to their families and had been disowned. Or I met a lot of people, and this was 1990, but I think it's still true of today. I met so many people that weren't out because of their fear of being disowned. And I think going to a gay bar was my way of feeling safe. It's interesting because this is gonna kind of like go into another conversation, but I think it was my way of feeling safe. It was my way of feeling part of a community. It was where I met other people that were gay. I didn't know how to do that, you know? It wasn't like you could look them up in the phone book. And, you know, it was interesting, so I'm going to segue into this. When we were in Dallas, there was a point when we were standing in this bar. We were standing outside. A lot of these bars have these outside areas, and this one bar, I think it was called TMC or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, it had this huge outdoor patio that everybody was standing out there. And we were standing out there, and we were waiting for our friend to come back from getting a drink, and or going to the bathroom or something. And we were standing there, and I had this overwhelming sense, all of a sudden, of, like, the fear of being in a gay bar. I had not thought about that. And I think also it was because I was talking to somebody the night before that was from Orlando, and Pulse was, like, one of the first bars that they ever went to. They're talking about the memorial at Pulse that they have now and stuff, but, like, so maybe it was on my mind, I don't know. But like, I don't go to gay bars very often anymore. I don't have any issues with gay bars. I miss going to gay bars. There just aren't really that many great gay bars in Indianapolis, and I don't really go out that often anyway. So it was really like the first time that I had been to gay bar after gay bar after gay bar, right? And I looked at Alex and I said, you know, not until this very moment did it really kind of hit me that what happened with Pulse has taken away a lot of our feeling safety in gay bars. That's a place that we feel safe. You know, a lot of gay bars have police officers out in front. Many times it's gay or gay friendly. You know, gay straight or like a straight alliance police officers, gay police officers, gay friendly police officers that are outside of gay bars in case there's any issues for us to feel safe, right? So then all of a sudden you hear something like Pulse happen where there's like this horrible shooting, and it's like we no longer have that place of safety anymore. I didn't feel safe standing outside of this bar. I have to tell you, like, I was like, at that moment that it hit me, I was like, I'm ready to go. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel safe anymore, you know? And I think back on the time, you know, I know it probably sounds kind of seedy that, like, oh, me and all of these, you know, my friends that we were all young at the time, were going out to gay bars with, you know, fake IDs and all that kind of stuff. But there was a sense of innocence about it. There really was, you know, that, like, I mean, we were, sure, drinking, underage drinking, all this stuff, not great, okay? I don't condone that. But, like, we were forming a community. We were forming friendships that we would have for life, you know? And, we felt safe with each other, and it's where many of us experienced our first kisses, you know, or our first romantic relationship, or our first crush that we were allowed to have in public, you know, or exchanging somebody's phone number and calling that person up and asking them out on a date, you know, or God forbid going home with somebody like a lot of people do when they're younger, you know, like, I mean, we had never, many of us, been able to experience that before in the way that we wanted to experience it. And so it was that for us, you know, for a lot of us. And I think, I don't know, I don't look back on that period of my life and like I wish I hadn't drank as much, obviously, but I think I had to drink and use drugs to get to the point where I needed to get sober. I don't think that I would have ever gotten sober had I not, and I think my sobriety has been the foundation for my entire life, so I can't imagine if... I just don't ever believe that my life was ever going in a direction where I wouldn't get sober, or have used as much. I mean, I think I was always on that course, because I think the way that I look at my life, the way that I believe, I think I was meant to be a person of sobriety from birth, and I was just working on my story to get there. So I don't think much that way. I mean, I do every once in a while think about, like, I can't imagine what my life would be like if I, first of all, two things. If I hadn't gotten, actually I was going to write a book about this one time. If I hadn't gotten sober, and if I had never been an addict or an alcoholic, like, what would my life look like? But very rarely do I, you know. I think it would have been part of my story at some point or another. This is another long vlog. I sure didn't think I was going to vlog. This is what happens when I start vlogging early. So I go on and on and on and on and on and on. But I think, you know, now as a person that's been out for, this is 30 years. This summer will be 30 years that I've been out. Can you imagine? Seems crazy. And, you know, sober for 25. And I'm still working on my story. You know, I don't know what's next. I have no idea what's next. I look back on the last 5 years of my life, and if you had told me 5 years ago all the things that would have occurred, you know, since then, I would never have believed it. And if you had looked back at my life 10 years ago, I would never have believed it. 15 years ago, you know, it's like, so much can change. And, today I'm trying to plan for my future, but I'm also trying to live in the present and not focus so much on what's next. I like my life. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here now, since I've been rambling forever. I don't know if you guys like the longer ones or the shorter ones or whatever. Valerie actually suggested that maybe every once in a while I do a shorter vlog to let people get caught up, and I didn't think that was a horrible idea, so I might do that at some point. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here now, and I hope you guys, if you've made it this far, thank you, I appreciate it. And if you didn't, then I guess you're not hearing this, but I love you and thank you for watching this vlog anyway. I love you, and I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something exciting today. Do something that the choice that you're making today will make you proud when you look back on it 5 or 10 years down the road. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself. I love you. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? Did you really hear it? I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself. I mean it. You, right there, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself your daily affirmations, and you say, I love you, you are valuable. Hold on, my hair is... Hold on. I love you, you are valuable, you are important, you matter, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are worthy. You are worthy of good things. Today is going to be an amazing day, and 2020 is going to be your year full of success and happiness. All your dreams are going to come true in 2020. And manifest that good stuff, right? Manifest that positivity. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are to you. You guys are really important to me. It really means a lot to me that you watch my videos and you comment on my videos. So thank you, I really appreciate it. And you like my videos, so give it a thumbs up. And just reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you today. You know, just say, hey, I just want to let you know how much you mean to me. And practice little random acts of kindness. Anything it can be, just, you know, something small. And give somebody a parking space today that you wanted, and you see somebody else coming for it, let them have it. Walk the extra 15 feet. I try to do that because I need it anyway. And, is that it? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Now, after all those people that said they really needed to hear that one last I love you, you don't think I'm gonna leave you hanging, do you? So for all of you out there that really needed to hear that one last I love you, this one tonight is specifically for you. And anyone else, of course, that needs to hear it too. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Love ya.